Now let's get to connecting the pipes to the lavatories, and once again, in order to make the process move on faster, I'm going to right click on here and draw pipe, and then I'm going to go up vertically up to the elevation 1000. Then click apply twice, and now I'm going to create a section along this pipe. So the angle of the section is supposed to be 45 degrees. I'm going to also make the section a little tighter, and first I'm going to double check the diameter of this pipe. According to the plan, it's supposed to be 75. Now let's go in the section, right click and go to view, and then here in the section, first I'm going to delete this elbow, and instead we're going to draw at a 45-degree angle, as in I'm going to right click on this pipe, draw a pipe, then I'm going to draw at 45 degrees, then I'm going to bring this elbow a little to the left, and then I'll use trim TR and connect these two together. So just a reminder, our connection needs to be at 45 degrees. Now over here, the out pipe that we're going to be leading towards the lavatory, for that first I'm going to create another section horizontally here, just something that'll cover the lavatory's connector. I'm going to also make the section tighter, right click and go to view, and then here I'm going to get the pipe command PI, and we're going to try to draw a slopeless pipe with diameter 50 millimeters. So click here and draw the branch coming out of the pipe. Now also, in order to have a better view on things, I could just hide this lavatory, which is a plumbing fixture. So I'll hit VV, and then in this first step, I'm going to look for the plumbing fixtures category, then click OK, and there we go. Now the elevation of this out pipe from the FFL, based on the standard sheet, is supposed to be 500. So first I'll measure, click here and on the FFL, then somewhere blank. Now I'll select the pipe, then I'm going to click on this value and replace it with 500, then press enter. Now after this point, we're going to have to draw for the vent, which we're going to be doing later. First I'm going to close these extra sections, and then we're going to go take a look in the plan. We're going to have to repeat the same thing for this lavatory as well. So I'm just going to drag this angled section onto this one, and let's not forget to readjust the sizes. But you see, the drawing area seems a little too crowded, so I'm just going to close the extra sections, and we're going to recreate them after we've adjusted the sizes. So select all these 4 sections and delete. So you see, first we're going to have to draw an out pipe from this floor drain, and then lead it towards the pipe below it, and we also need to make sure that we use a trap. But we also notice that there are 2 columns around the plan, as well as a beam. So for example, if I create a section in this direction, we could understand that better when we see it. So I'm going to also make the section tighter, then right click and go to view. So as you can see, right here we've got a beam, and the floor drain needs a core pipe, which is going to be going right past this beam. So we understand that the location of this floor drain isn't very proper, and it needs to be moved to the side or from this angle upwards. Even if we decide to draw the core pipe from exactly where it is right now, still it would be impossible to install the vertical pipe as well as the trap fitting. So even the current location of this floor drain in the architectural file is not right, because it would still result in an interference with the beam. But now let's assume that we were granted the permission to move this floor drain upwards, as in, let's say that we've already put a comment and we've got the results. So according to that, we're going to have to get the pipe command, diameter 75, inherent elevation, and with slope up. We're going to click over here, then draw a branch in this direction. Now I'm going to move it around a little bit to bring it below this floor drain, just so that the pipe connecting to the floor drain would be in this position. Now let's go double check over in the CAD plan. And if you take a look over here, you can see that the diameter up to here comes with 110. And then from this point on, as in from this floor drain, connecting over here, it changes to 75. So before the change in diameters, there are 2 branches here with 110. So now let's go see over here to check our branches diameters. These 2 should be 110. But after that, the diameter changes to 75. And so for the transition, we're going to need a one-sided one here to change the diameters to 75. Now to do that and make it easier, first we're going to have to delete these pipes. And then we're going to change the diameters because our transition is going to be one-sided. And then we're going to draw the rest of the pipe. So first I'm going to drag to extend this one a little more, but make sure it doesn't mess up with your angle. Now for its vertical justification, we're going to set it to bottom, and then we're going to use the split element tool, then split the pipe here. Then we're going to select this open end, then change its diameter to 75. Also, I'm going to take this transition and move it, and bring it closer to the T-fitting. Just make sure your angles don't change. Now we're going to select this pipe again, then change its vertical justification back to middle, then right-click on it and draw pipe, and we're going to draw this way inside the wall. Then we're going to go up at the elevation 2000, then click apply twice. Now we're going to have to make some readjustments, just like how we used the section for this one. So I'll create a section along this pipe. Then I'm going to make it a little tighter. Then I'm going to right-click on it and go to View. Here first I'm going to delete this 90-degree elbow. Then right-click on here, draw pipe, then draw at 45 degrees. And then to make space for another elbow here, I'm going to move this one backwards. Then I'm going to use Trim TR to connect these two pipes together. Now for the branch towards the lavatory, we're going to create a section along the pipe that we're going to be placing. And we're going to also make the section a little tighter. Now we're going to right-click and go to View. Now here to draw the branch, first I'm going to press VV. Then hide the plumbing fixtures category so that the lavatory is not in my way when I want to adjust the elevation. Now I'll get the pipe command PI, then click on this pipe. Then I'm going to change the diameter to 50 for the lavatory. Also, we don't want to have a slope for it, so click. Now I'm going to measure from the axis of this pipe down to the FFL, then click somewhere blank, and then we're going to select this pipe, then click on its elevation value and change it to 500. We're going to also delete this line because we no longer need it. Now we also had a floor drain over here, so first I'll delete these sections. Just select and press delete to remove them. Now let's draw the branch for this floor drain. Get in the pipe command PI, enable inherit elevation, slope up, and diameter 75. Now click, then go upwards in this direction, then click again. Now I'm going to also take this T-fitting and move it a little backwards until it's below the floor drain to which we're going to be connecting. Now in this section, we're going to right-click and go to View. And then in the section, I'm going to right-click on this pipe, then select Draw Pipe, then raise the pipe in this direction. Then I'm going to select this elbow and delete it, and then I'll get the pipe fitting command PF, and then I'm going to click over here to place the trap fitting, and then I'm going to rotate it till it's facing this way. Now if you feel like you can't see things very well, you could just go over here and grab your section, then move it closer to the pipe, and make it tight from the side. Now we can see the distances better. So next we're going to be using the Align command AL, then click on this pipe's axis and the axis of this trap fitting. Now I'm going to drag this pipe, then press the Tab key to connect them together. Now we could also bring this trap fitting a little to the left, which from the plan's angle it would be downwards. So the best location for this floor drain would be over here, and neither what's been demonstrated in the structural file, nor the one that's been placed in the architectural. Now even if the floor drain were to move along the pipe, for example over here, it would have still been possible to draw its branch and connect the pipes to it. But that can't happen where it is right now. Once again, we could add another revision cloud and put a comment about it, and then wait for any reconsiderations. Now once again over here for the lavatories, I'm going to right-click on this pipe, then select Draw Pipe. Then I'm going to raise the pipe up to the elevation 2000, click Apply twice. And then we're going to create a section along the pipe which we're about to draw. Then I'm going to make this section a little tight, then right-click on it and go to View. First, let's hit VV so we could hide the plumbing fixtures category. So for that, we're just going to uncheck the visibility for it, then click OK. And now we're going to get the pipe command PI, then click on this pipe, and then we're going to change the diameter to 50, then turn the slope off, and then draw this branch. Next, we're going to use the line dimension to measure the elevation of this pipe from the FFL, and then we're going to select the pipe, then click on its value, then change its elevation to 500, then press enter. Now we've also drawn the branch for here at a 90-degree angle, so I'll just move this section here, right click and go to view, and here it is. We're going to select this elbow, then delete it, and then we're going to right click on this one, draw a pipe, and then draw at a 45-degree angle, and then we're going to select this elbow and move it a little to the back, then use trim TR to connect these two pipes together. But also by taking a simple look, we can understand that it's interfering with the beam, so because of the interference, we're not quite done yet. So for this core pipe, I'm going to have to go back in this section, and then drag over these fittings to select them, and then I'm going to move them all to the right, until this pipe is no longer in the beam so that we could be free of any interferences. So there goes that lavatory. For this other category right next to it, we're going to have to repeat the same process, as in right click, draw pipe, and then we're going to raise this pipe up to 2000, then click apply twice. Now we're going to go to this section and move it over here, then right click on it and go to view, and then here we're going to have to draw the branch to the left. So first we're going to have to get the pipe command, PI, then click once on this vertical pipe, and then we're going to change the diameter to 50. And now I'm going to measure from this pipe down to the FFL, then click somewhere blank, then select the pipe and click on its elevation value, make it 500, then press enter. Only don't forget that you're going to have to also delete that 90-degree elbow in a 45-degree section. So let's place a 45-degree section over here, and then we're going to make our section tighter, then right click on it and go to view. First we're going to delete this elbow, then right click on this pipe, select draw pipe, then draw at 45 degrees. Now I'm going to also grab this elbow and move it a little to the left, then use trim TR to connect these together. Now as for the pipes connecting to the toilets and the floor drains, we've got the same thing that we did for this side, and the connection to this floor drain is the same way as well. But before we do anything, first we're going to have to place a comment here and state that this floor drain needs to be moved a little more to the right, because it wouldn't be physically possible to have an elbow and a branch leading from here, and also place the trap and the other fittings as well. So we're going to need to place another comment on here.